It's the National Football League on EA Sports, where we'll see two of the NFL's oldest and most storied franchises. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Chicago Bears, and it's coming up next. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to one of the legendary venues in the sport, historic Soldier Field in Chicago. We are bundled up. This should be a fun one. So glad you're with us. Greg Olsen, Greg, we love watching in college snow games, but you played weather like this. What's it like?
There is nothing better. Kind of brings you back to your roots of having a snow day, a day off of school, and just get all your buddies in the neighborhood and just go play outside. But in all seriousness, it actually really benefits the offense. I mean, people always are questioning the passing game and whatnot. The offense knows where they're going. It's on the defense to react, and that's where the footing and that's where the snow really has its biggest effect. I think today, for both teams, advantage offense.
The veteran Chris Boswell ready to get things going. And through the snowflakes, off we go here on EA Sports. Oh, he's got room past the 30. Nice job on the return. He's down close to the 35-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense taking the field for the first time. They're led out by the quarterback from USC, Caleb Williams.
Mike, the term generational talent, it gets thrown around a bit too loosely these days, in my opinion, but you can make an argument if one guy coming out of the draft the last couple years was worthy of that description, it's Caleb Williams. I mean, the arm talent, the playmaking ability, the ability to play off script when things don't go perfectly. I mean, he is such an interesting prospect, special player, and I'm excited to watch him here in this one.
And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on first down. They'll come up now for second down and 4. They're running for the first time with DeAndre Swift. And he's down on the other side of midfield, marking at the 48-yard line.
The goal of every offense, Mike, is to find a way to establish a balance between the run and the pass. Some success here early on the ground will open up things as the game unfolds for the quarterback in this passing game.
Here's Williams on first and 10. He finds the veteran Keenan Allen. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line.
Not a whole lot complicated about this play, Mike. That was understanding where the holes of the defense were. Remember, in this zone coverage, you've got to find green grass, get past the first down marker, be friendly to the quarterback, and then the ball has to be out on time before those zone defenders can react to the receiver. It's exactly how it played out here. You can draw all the fancy plays you want, but when the quarterback and the receiver see it through the same set of eyes, it's virtually impossible to stop.
They face second down and 7. Operating from the shotgun, it's Williams. Brought in by the tight end, Cole Kmet. He'll get about 6 before he's taken down.
I'm not sure what was the more difficult aspect of the play, winning his route versus man coverage or catching this pass, because that quarterback, he put a little extra sauce on that one to get it there on time, and he's able to secure a really nice catch.
He'll try to run for it. It's Swift.
Well, we have an early decision here, Mike. How how aggressive does this coach want to be on this fourth down try? I think you got to keep your offense out there. You have a prime opportunity to take the fight to them, extend this drive, and hopefully be able to come away with points.
On fourth down, it's Cairo Santos on for the Bears field goal. This a 44-yard attempt. Santos' kick is good. And the Bears are out to an early 3-0 lead.
And that's a good drive right out of the gate. They're able to make some plays, move the ball down the field. I know they didn't get a touchdown, but that is a good, positive result.
Points on that opening drive. We'll see the response as the kick's away. The Steeler offense ready to take the field for the first time. They're led out by their veteran quarterback, Super Bowl winner, Russell Wilson.
Had a coach tell me earlier in my career, Mike, specifically about the quarterback position. If you don't have fast feet, you better have a fast mind. And here we have a guy that has played a lot of games under center. He has seen a lot of football, and while he might not be as mobile, he might not have the arm strength to make all the throws he had earlier in his career, that experience behind center, that experience being in these moments before, man, having that quick mind, there's not a whole lot of defense is going to throw at him that he hasn't seen.
Now he's loose at the 40. And this will bring them all the way down to the 20-yard line.
If you want to score points at a high level in the NFL, you have to generate explosive plays. And after that big chunk pass play, they find themselves now down there in the red zone, and this is where you have to finish drives.
So they come to the line for first down and 10. They'll run it for the first time with Najee Harris. And he's fighting and trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, but will not do it. This is going to be a loss of a yard.
I'm not sure if there's anything more enjoyable for a football player than playing a game in the snow. And something for us to keep in mind throughout the rest of the day is typically the advantage is in the favor of the offense. You know where you're going. You know where the cuts are going to come. The defense has to react to you. Can they find a way to take advantage?
And he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5. Here comes 3rd and 6. They send Farmouth, the tight end, in motion. On 3rd down, here's Wilson. That one on target to Williams. He's got it. And the Steelers are going to have a 1st and goal coming up. They try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Well, they certainly aren't wasting any time marching down the field. I mean, you only need one hand to count how many plays they've run, and yet they find themselves 1st and goal inside the low red zone.
Out of the gun, it's Wilson. And they'll get him down right around the 5-yard line.
It's not the big play they were hoping for, but 1st down efficiency, staying ahead of the chains, is what every offense is trying to find, and it brings up a manageable 2nd down.
Ball right on the 5-yard line, 2nd down and goal. To throw again is Wilson. And he's going to have to eat this one. And down he goes.
Sometimes, Mike, your greatest can also be a little bit of your weakness. In this case, he is so used to being able to buy more time with his feet, extend the play, give his targets more time downfield to uncover. In this case, nothing materializes, tried to do too much, and as a result, takes a big loss.
Work to do following the sack. It is 3rd and long. Out of the gun, here's Russ. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
You can't fault the quarterback on this one. Like, he really didn't even have much of an opportunity. By the time he hit the top of his drop and got his eyes downfield, the defense was all over him. He really had no choice but to just get that ball out of his hand and live to play another snap.
Through the falling snow, the kick is good. And the Steelers will tie the game at 3 apiece.
I think apart from the wind, when you talk about kicking in the elements, Mike, I think the snow has to be the kicker's worst nightmare. It's just so hard to have the confidence that when you stick that plant foot, it's not going to give way. So give credit. That was really well done.
Field goals for both sides on their opening possessions. 3-3 as this one's kicked away. This will be returned from the 6. And their drive will begin at the 30-yard line. The Bears offense is going to take over now for the 2nd time. They'll set out in search of a first touchdown in this game. Just a pair of field goals to show. It's 3-3 as they start 1st and 10. A play fake. Now Williams. Now he'll run. That's a gain of 21 to open this drive.
You know this defense worked all week defending this quarterback as a scrambler, as a runner. But sometimes it's just hard to simulate until you see him in real life. His speed, his ability to create. We saw him get him here early on a big scramble. He's able to pick up the first down and keep the drive alive.
And he'll get about 5. They'll break the huddle. It's 2nd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Williams. Over the middle, that's Kamat. And that's a first down. It will be a gain of 8.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need. But really nice job there by the quarterback, getting into the hands of his receiver and then see what he can do after the catch.
And he'll work his way down inside the 30. Shooting out 7 yards on that. Here's a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. Throwing is Williams. He keeps it himself.
I love this call, man. 2nd down and short. One of the best downs in football to take a shot. Give credit to the defense. They were ready for it. But a nice job by the quarterback, realizing there's nothing downfield. Take off, turn into a runner, pick up the first down.
Whole lot of extra muscle over there on the left side for this 1st and 10. I'll give up the middle with Swift. And he finds a little bit of space. He'll take this forward for a gain of 4. Here's 2nd and 6. Off play action. Here's Williams. And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing 3rd down.
That was a perfectly timed hit, and I think it actually saved 6 points, Mike. He got there just as the ball did, and I think it was the contact that separated him from the ball.
On 3rd down, it's Williams. That's a short throw, caught by Komet.
And his passing game continues to come up short these last couple plays. That's 2 consecutive incompletions in a row. Now they're staring 4th down right in the face.
On now, it's Carlos Santos for the field goal. This will be a 38-yard attempt. He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. And the Bears will take a 6-3 lead.
And I think this is going to end up being considered a successful drive, Mike. I think obviously you would have loved to see them come down and convert and score a touchdown. But at the very least, they needed to come away with 3. They were able to do that and take a lead on that field goal.
Carlos Santos following the made field goal. Back out to kick this one away. On the return, here comes Cordero Patterson. Across 20, they'll mark him down before the 25-yard line. That's where the offense will take over. The Steelers offense ready for their 2nd possession. This one has been tight so far. A field goal separating the 2 sides as this drive kicks off with 1st and 10. This drive begins with a run by Harris. And he's going to be taken down at the 37.
And a nice pickup there by the back with an explosive run play. And it's important to point out, Mike, this offensive play caller, he's still working off that opening script. It doesn't necessarily have to just be the first possession. Using formations, using run game and pass. Unmask the defense and understand where to take the play calling as the game unfolds.
To get this complete, it's Williams over the middle. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield.
This is clinic tape for any young wide receiver out there watching this guy run routes. He has the defender thinking everything is a go ball. Attack him vertically, and then when you get to your route depth, you stick that foot in the ground, you break in balls on time, results in a nice 1st down pickup.
Play action. It's Wilson. He'll get that complete. It's George Pickens. And they're going to be set up in the red zone. They got it inside the 15.
These are the kind of plays that when you draw them up on the chalkboard, Mike, they all look great. But if you can't protect long enough, you're never going to get the receiver. I mean, think, he started on the left side of the formation in the slot, and he has to run all the way across the field to the right third. I mean, that takes a lot of time.
And he's in. Fire move. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Mike, we used to have a saying that it was the responsibility of the receiver to run the route through the eyes of the quarterback. And I think this is a great example here. Two guys clearly on the same page. Quarterback expected his target to be in a certain place at a certain time. He's there, ball's delivered accurately. He's able to pick up the rest with his legs, and that's a big-time connection for the touchdown.
Chris Boswell on for the point after. These kicks not a given in the snow, but this one is good. And the Steelers open the lead to 4. It's 10-6. Boswell now following the touchdown. Back out to kick this one off. This taken in at the 8-yard line. And it'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Bears offense about ready to take over once more. They trail by 4. A touchdown gives them the lead. Drive begins with 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Swift. He is met and dropped. Good defense. Loss of a couple on that play.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on 1st down, but that's exactly the case here.
On 2nd down, it's Williams. That'll be caught by DeAndre Swift. And they're going to mark him down up past the 35.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play. And it wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest. And that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there. Give him credit for keeping this play alive as long as he could. This easily could have gone down for a loss, but he's kind of able to find his way forward and at least get back to the line of scrimmage.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun, here's Williams. Open man, that's Roma Dunze. He gets close to the yellow line. Tackle made at the 46.
They may not have moved the chains, but with what they were dealing with there on 2nd down, that's a really nice pickup because now it opens up your play call sheet on 3rd down where it's a little bit more manageable.
They'll put Everett in motion here. On 3rd down, here's Swift. And he's going to be taken down here. Looks like a pretty good spot there, yes. He's got it. That's the 1st down.
I think everybody in the stadium saw that run coming, Mike, but good luck stopping it. I mean, all he really had to do was just fall forward, and it would be enough to pick up the 1st down.
So, a pair of 1st downs moves them out to the 47-yard line. And it's 1st and 10. Toss right side to the tight end Komet. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line.
Now, this is the epitome of a really short throw and a really nice run after catch. And listen, for a quarterback, it all counts the same. You don't always have to throw the ball downfield to generate explosive plays, and these drag routes can be very, very effective.
Ball rests at the 37. It's 1st and 10. On the give, it's Swift. And he is stopped in his tracks. Loss of a couple on the play.
Every team makes an emphasis on winning first down, but as a defense, when you're able to take them back for a loss, second and long, you can really become more of a pass-centric defense and really tips the scales into your favor.
They'll go again with Swift. And the defense there to meet him. They'll hold him to 2 and bring up third down. On third down, it's Williams from the gun. This pass caught right side. It's Allen.
You can see the eyes of the quarterback. He's trying to push this ball initially downfield, but with the defense doing a good job keeping a lid on the coverage, he's forced to check this ball down to the shallow route. But this is something that they know in the future. If I need a couple yards, they can come back to this play.
3 for 3 in the game. Whereas this one is also good. And the Bears cut the deficit down to 1.
And I can tell you firsthand, Mike, when you find yourself trailing in a game, you don't feel very good about coming away with field goals. But in this case, it does get them a little bit closer and cut into this deficit.
Following the made field goal, back out to kick this one away. Patterson now to return it. A good return as he takes it across the 30. Here comes the Pittsburgh offense now, heading back onto the field. Their lead is just a point as they begin it on this drive with 1st and 10. They send Fryermuth, the tight end, in motion. They'll start this on the ground, and it's Harris. Maybe stuck up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
You can just see the frustration on the running back's face as he's getting helped up off the ground. Like, there was just nowhere to go from the moment he was handed the ball. Give credit to the defense. Great job.
They'll try it again. It's 2nd and 10. Another run here with Harris. Room up the sideline at the 45. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. 20-yard pickup there. Good for a Steeler first down.
It's definitely nice to have one of those bruising, punishing backs kind of help wear down the defense. But I'll tell you what, you can give me a flat-out electric runner like this guy any day of the week. He can turn on those jets, get in that high gear, and he is gone.
We are through 1. It's the Steelers with the early lead. We're back to Soldier Field after this. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. He's He's got Fryermuth open on the left side. The backfield empty here for 3rd and 2. From the shotgun, Wilson. He's got his man. It's Pickens. He'll get out of bounds, a gain of 8, and that's going to be good enough for a first down.
He's in a really nice rhythm here on 3rd down. He appears very comfortable operating out of the gun, and he's able to find his man near the sideline, and he's able to extend this drive.
Set to go now on 1st and 10. Wilson will throw again. It's into the hands of Pickens once again. And they are in great shape. He's taken down inside the 10.
The thing that jumps out to me the most, Mike, is just how often the quarterback is able to throw the ball to his first read in the progression. So hats off to the play calling. Him and the quarterback seeing the game through the exact same set of eyes, and there is a lot of room to operate.
He pulls it in around the 5. And they'll get this down to the 3, but no further. It'll be 2nd and goal.
The receiver thought he had a nice soft spot in that zone coverage, and he settles down to give a nice target to the quarterback. But the defense had eyes on him the entire time. Secure rally tackle prevents that from turning into a big play.
They'll try to run it with Harris. A dive, and he's in! Najee Harris. Touchdown, Steelers. Good drive. They kept the ball. Greg, they moved it effectively down the field and finished it off on the ground for the touchdown.
So often, Mike, we see teams work on a great drive to get down here close, only to settle for a field goal. But in this case, give them a lot of credit. They put a great drive together, but they're able to capitalize and finish it off with 6.
Boswell now following the touchdown. Back out to kick this one off. From the 6, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. So out comes the Chicago offense as they get set to take over once more. The deficit is 8 as this drive begins with 1st and 10. This drive will begin with a run by Swift. And the defense all over this one. They knock them down, and it'll go down as a loss of 2.
How often do we see linebackers be so fast trying to track down the ball carrier that they end up actually overrunning the play and allowing the running back to cut back? But not this guy. Does a great job of staying in phase, stretching this ball out sideways, and he brings them down for a loss.
Another run here, another run by Swift. And they'll bring him down, but not until he gets to the 38-yard line.
When the offense broke the huddle in a line, Mike, I think everybody in the stadium knew this was going to be a run, but the offense is kind of saying, okay, line up, I dare you to try to stop us. And right now, this defense has no answers.
first down, it's Swift. And they're going to get him down this time. Not as easy as the last carry. This time they drop him behind the line of scrimmage. Second down.
Great job at that linebacker timing his blitz. He didn't give any indication to the offense that he was coming. And he's able to get through that hole and take the ball carrier down for a loss.
Out of the shotgun, it's a give to Swift. And he'll work his way past the 40. He's tackled after a gain of 4. Here's 3rd and 7. Here's Williams. Here's a screen taken in by Swift. Good hustle by the defense. They beat the offensive lineman to the blocks there. No gain on that screen pass.
Not the worst play call there. I actually like 3rd down screen game, especially when you're anticipating some pressure. An over-aggressive defense who's selling out to get to the quarterback. In this case, not a lot of room to operate. They don't convert. Brings up 4th down.
And no chance to down this one. It carries deep into the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers' offense is running back Najee Harris getting set to take over once more. The advantage is 8. We'll see if they can make this a 2-score game on this drive. First down and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. He finds Austin with the grab. He'll get about 4 here as he is taken down.
Defense does a nice job here initially using zone coverage to take away the middle of the field. That's the most valuable real estate in football. Quarterback gets off his first read, sees some openings to the sideline, and him and his receiver are able to connect.
And the rush gets home. He'll go down.
Looked like a pass protection breakdown. They had 5 offensive linemen and a running back in the backfield. I promise you, somebody was assigned to that linebacker, but he timed the blitz perfectly. He ran through and was able to bring him down for a big sack.
So backed up after the sack, and now it's 3rd and long. Out of the gun, it's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete. Great work there, making things difficult defensively. It will set up a 4th down.
This offense has to find a way to be better on 1st and 2nd down, Mike. Living in these 3rd and long situations, must pass, is not a recipe that their offensive coordinator wants to operate in.
And good coverage by the punt team. They stop him before he can get any return cranked up. DeAndre Swift and the Bears offense set for their next possession. They try to establish some tempo as they start this one with 1st and 10. Operating from the shotgun, it's Williams. That one pinballs around, but it is incomplete. He was looking for Keenan Allen on that one, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, not exactly breaking news here, Mike. They got speed on the perimeter that just not a lot of teams in the NFL have. So even though that ball falls incomplete, I think they have to continue to do it. Continue to pressure this defense and make them defend the entire field. Because as they're worried about him running by them, there is a lot of space open underneath.
They need 8 as they come up for third down. Here's Williams now to throw. Taking off, he'll try to get there.
This is an element that defensively you always have to be ready to defend. You can't just accept that it's a pass and be so consumed with the receivers downfield. You have to account for the quarterback as a scrambler. You can see why, as he's able to get out of the pocket and pick up the first down.
They will run it over center with Swift. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one.
Mike, I have to be honest. When offenses come up with run play designs, blocking the corner is not really a big priority. But in this case, great job not only forcing it on the outside, but defeating the block, coming up and making the tackle, and keeping it to no gain.
Swift gets it from the pistol. And they'll have it across midfield, down at the opposing 46-yard line.
This just shows why you can't count on just one guy to take him down. He's a powerful enough runner. You gotta have guys coming in support when that first hit is made. It takes a team effort to stop him, especially once he gets going.
Here's a handoff to Swift. And he surges forward for a gain of about 5. Throwing on second down. Williams. He'll tuck it and take off. Run he brings it to the red zone. Taken down inside the 20-yard line.
There's a lot of questions surrounding this quarterback about whether his style of play from college would transfer to the NFL game. His ability to create with his legs certainly has here today. We see it with his ability to escape pressure out of the pocket, and he's able to pick up the first down.
They're at the 17-yard line now for 1st and 10. Now Swift. They're going to take this down to about the 15. Second down and 8. On the ground, it's Swift. The Bears are going to have a 1st and goal coming up. They try to finish off this drive with 6 points. On the bootleg, it's Williams. He's going to run it.
1st and goal. The quarterback thinks he's got a shot to take this one in himself. I think he's just a little late in his reaction and decision to turn into a runner. Defense has just enough time to get there. They stop him short of the end zone. 2nd and goal.
From the 1, 2nd and goal. Now Williams.
Really well done here by the defense, Mike, executing this zone defense, and they got to be able to pattern read. You're not just going to drop back to a spot and just play like a robot. Based on what the receivers do off the line, the defenders have different rules of where their zones move to. Well, they had that one dialed in right from the jump, and They were able to stop that play really before it got started.
He's got his man, middle of the end zone. Keenan Allen, touchdown Chicago. It felt like they needed a touchdown. Greg, in the worst way, after getting those early field goals to find the end zone. Big boost for this offense.
And it felt like they really needed it. As you said, Mike, to come away with 3 previous drives ending in field goals and not being able to cross it over the goal line for 6, it starts to wear on you as an offense. You start having a little doubt, saying, hey, can we finish any of these drives? Now that they finally do, we can expect this to kind of start to roll throughout the rest of this game.
Santos, good on the extra point. And the Bears move back to within 1. So here's Santos after the touchdown. He's out to kick this one off. He fields it at the 8. And a solid run back there. He'll get this out past the 30-yard line. The Steelers offense ready to see what they can do. They'll start out first down and 10. Tight ends in the game to start the drive. On first down, it's Harris. And nothing on that one back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it.
Patience is a great quality of a running back. You have to wait for holes and gaps to develop. But in this case, Mike, he just kept waiting, and nothing ended up happening. No game.
They'll give it to Harris again. He'll get him behind his blockers, get forward for a pickup of 3. Montez Sweat there on the tag. What can they do here on 3rd down and 7? Out of the gun, here's Russ. That's caught right side. It's Freiermuth. And he'll be stopped short of a first down, and that will necessitate a call to the punt team. It's 4th down.
When you're willing to throw the ball short of the sticks on 3rd down, you know what that tells me, Mike? The decision to go for it on 4th down has already been made. If you're able to pick it up with yards after the catch, great. But if not, it's a 4th and short, and you give yourself a realistic shot of converting on this 4th down.
And no return forthcoming. It's a touchback, and will come out to the 20-yard line. The Bears offense and DeAndre Swift set to get going again. And as a play caller, when you've got a guy who's running like this, you lean on him and your offensive line. He's had big opening after big opening and big numbers in this first half. The drive begins at the 20. Here's 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Swift. Not much to speak of on that one. Maybe a gain of a yard. It's 2nd down. A run here with Swift. The defense all over this one. They get him behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a couple.
When you can get this level of run support out of your secondary, Mike, man, what an advantage for any defense. This defensive back clearly reads run, gets off his block, and he's able to take down the back for a loss of yards.
On third down, it's Williams. They go sideline, and he stays in bounds. Got the feet down in time. It's a first down.
It's just so impressive to see how good these guys are, especially the veterans, Mike. They've been out there a long time, a lot of experience. They know exactly where they are on the sideline, not only to secure this catch, but to be able to toe tap and drag that second foot. That's a big-time play by a big-time receiver.
They'll run out of the gun. It is Swift. And that'll be good for about a half dozen. It'll set up second down. They'll go again with Swift. They're going to work this down inside the 45.
What we're seeing here in this first half, Mike, is an example of the offensive line, the running back, and the play caller all on the same page. The execution and the ability to continue to pick up chunk plays on the ground has been a great start for this offense.
Off play action. Here's Williams. That is into the hands of Allen downfield. And they're going to be set up now as he's brought down at the 5-yard line. A big-time play for the Bears. 35 yards. So here's a chance to take the lead going into the locker room. It's first and goal. From the shotgun, it's Williams. And he will fight his way to the end zone. Caleb Williams. Touchdown Bears. His second TD of the game, and this one gives his team the lead. The defense comes up with the coverage, but they cannot keep up with the speed as the quarterback scrambles to the end zone for the touchdown.
And down here in the red zone, Mike, is where I think a quarterback's legs can be the most dangerous. The defenders are trying to match backs, match tight ends and receivers, but often it's the quarterback that has no one assigned to him, and in this case, he's able to capitalize and run it in himself.
Santos, good on the extra point. And the Bears will open up a 6-point lead. So here's Santos after the touchdown. He's out to kick this one off. Patterson now to return it. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. Steelers offense make their way out to take over once more. The deficit, 6 points. A touchdown here would be mighty nice for the offense. See what they can do on this drive. First and 10. tight end fire move.
Certainly not the biggest play of the day, but a good example of picking up positive yardage, staying ahead of the chains by a well-timed ball and a well-timed route.
We'll come to the line now on 2nd and 2. Here's Wilson to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing third down.
It's rare to see an offense that finds themselves trailing and say, well, the quarterback's been actually one of their biggest bright spots. Usually that doesn't go hand in hand, so it's a little surprising to see him miss a throw like that on a day where he's completed passes at a highly efficient rate.
That one on target to Williams. He's got it.
Doing a nice job there to move the chains early in this drive, but now as they approach midfield, continue to keep your foot on the gas. Don't get conservative. Don't start sitting on the ball. Cross midfield and go. Anytime you find yourself on your opponent's side of the field, you have to be thinking points.
To throw again is Wilson. Off he goes. They get an even 20 on that one. That's a Steeler first down.
You can see here, Mike, the impact that sending your receivers deep does to the defense. You add so many layers, and the defense has to get so much depth in their pass coverage. It leaves a lot of room underneath, and that's exactly what the quarterback takes advantage, tucks the ball down, turns it into a runner, picks up first down.
They'll come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Now it's Wilson. Got a man over the middle. It's Pickens. The Steelers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Enviable spot to operate from. Here's 2nd and inches. Wilson to throw. That's over the middle and taken in by Firemove. And this takes him into the red zone. He's brought down inside the 20-yard line. Ball down to the 16-yard line. And it's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. That's to the end zone, but they can't connect. It's incomplete. Mike Williams, the one he was looking for. It's 2nd down.
Doesn't get much better than that. Had he gotten there just a little bit earlier, he probably draws the flag a little late. It's probably a touchdown.
Again, Wilson. That's pulled in. Najee Harris. They'll get maybe 3 out of that one, and it's going to set up 3rd down.
Defensive coordinators preach all the time, play pass defense with vision. It's exactly the case here. They're able to rally to the ball, keep that to a short game.
And now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout. Here comes Chris Boswell to try a field goal. This from 30 yards out. He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. And the Steelers will cut the lead from 6 down to 3.
And that's a really nice boost here before the break. I mean, you work the clock well, you're able to steal some points. The biggest thing is you're able to build a little momentum now going into the locker room at halftime.
So 2 seconds left to play, and the kick's away. And no chance to return this one. Through the end zone for a touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. To throw, it's Williams. He'll send this one deep for Odunze. That's going to be incomplete. They took a shot on the final play. Prayer not answered. And that is how this first half will come to an end.
All right, Mike, we'll take it from there as we welcome everyone into our EA Sports Studios and our halftime report. The Bears got a solid first half out of their quarterback, the #1 overall pick back in 2024, Caleb Williams. He had a touchdown both in the air and on the ground to help push his guys into the lead at the break.
All right, Coach, thank you. The snow continuing to fall as we ready ourselves for the second half to follow. Well, this snow not abating at all. If anything, might be coming down a little bit harder as we are underway here in the third. And a decent return there. He'll get this up just shy of the 30. The visitors' offense and Russell Wilson set to take over once more. And he has been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been picked apart. That is borne out in those impressive numbers. He has been terrific all game long. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. A pass taken in by Harris. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on first down.
Great example of first down efficiency. You don't always have to go for the big play, but put yourself in a friendly second down. Now you have equal opportunity to both run and pass.
They'll come up now for 2nd down and 4. Here's Wilson. Now a screen set up for Harris. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45.
We're starting to see this so often, Mike. The days of just having a running back who you're just going to turn around and hand it to, yes, that's still a critical part of NFL offensive football, but their ability to be used in the passing game. Just one more thing for the defense to have to defend. Make them go sideline to sideline, line of scrimmage to the end zone. Defend every blade of grass, and a really good running back goes a long way in doing it.
He's got a touchdown on the books from earlier, and that catch gets him a first down.
Really nice throw there. The ability to throw the ball out on the perimeter. Yes, arm strength and all of that, but it's also timing. The timing of the route. When is that wide receiver coming out of his break to deliver that ball accurately as his head comes around? If the ball's thrown too early, the receiver's not ready. If the ball's thrown too late, that's when disaster strikes.
He'll manage to get 2, maybe 3 on that carry. Jack Sanborn on the stop. Second and 7. Another run here with Harris. Only a couple on that one. It'll set up 3rd down. Wilson lines up in the pistol. There's a short one caught by Fryermuth.
The initial reaction is, how does this quarterback now throw the ball past the 1st down line to gain to try to extend this drive? And the reality is they've already decided they're going to go for it on 4th down.
Here comes Chris Boswell to try a field goal. Officially, this will be a 43-yarder. 3 for 3 in the game, as this one is also good. And the Steelers will tie the game here in the 3rd quarter.
So touchdowns are always the primary goal of every drive. But when you find yourself down 3 here in the 2nd half, you've just got to find a way to tie the game up. And they were able to do that here.
So, the Bears offense ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. Both these offenses have been informal. Is the defense going to show up? Can anybody come up with a stop? All time here in this 3rd quarter, and it's 1st and 10. I'll give up the middle with Swift. And that'll be a pickup of 3. They face 2nd down and 7. A play fake, and they'll throw with Williams. 10 yards on the scramble there. He picks up the 1st down.
We've seen this quarterback have some effective plays with his legs all game today, Mike. He knows when to stay in there and look to pass, but he also knows when it's time to tuck and go, and he's able to pick up good yardage there.
On the give, it's quick. And he's going to be stopped in his tracks. He loses a couple of yards on that one.
Anytime the running back is forced to chop his feet in the background and never get to top speed, you know that play's not going anywhere. That's exactly what the defense was able to force here by getting penetration. Great job there, stopping this play before he had a chance to even get started.
Another run here, another run by Swift. Maybe a couple there. It's 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Williams from the gun. He'll try to get there on the ground. Can't beat those legs. 13-yard pickup. A scramble leads to a 1st down.
Having a is such an X factor in today's NFL. It's an element of their offense that you have to be prepared for on every single play. Here we see it on third down. Starts out as a pass, nowhere to go with the ball. He tucks it, turns into a runner, picks up the first down.
A play fake. Now Williams. That is caught downfield by Dunze. A gain there of 20. Good for a Bears first down.
Rookie to rookie right there, Mike. I tell you what, they've got some really good young pieces on this roster.
They'll come up here, 1st and 10. This is an RPO, and quickly they'll hit Allen. And he's not going to get too far, tackled after a gain of just a yard.
Similar to a tight end, the slot receiver is often considered the safety blanket. He makes all the difficult catches, tends to be a little bit more around the line of scrimmage, and so far today, he's certainly lived up to that reputation.
On the bootleg, it's Williams. And he slides and covers up at the end, avoids the hit, and picked up decent yardage along the way.
Take a look at his eyes. You can see the quarterback clearly going through all of his progressions, and he's quick to realize there's nowhere to go with this ball. He makes the right decision and gets out of there, picks up some good yardage, and gets down on the ground.
They'll try to run for it. It's Smith. The Bears are going to be set up with the 1st and goal. So they're able to convert there on 3rd and 3.
Nothing real fancy about this call here, Mike, right? In this 3rd and short, just get the ball to your running back, make sure he has enough space to pick up the first down, and they're able to convert.
This drive has been methodical, but will they turn it into 6 points? It is 1st, and he will dive into the end zone. DeAndre Swift, touchdown Chicago.
It just feels like a big drive, doesn't it, Mike? Here in the second half, you got a tie ball game. Now you're able to get out in front. Let's see how this other team responds, having to play from behind.
We got a ton of time, Greg, but a little momentum feel. Come out of the locker room, take the lead. Now it's up to the other team to climb uphill. So, great way, perfect way to get this second half started. So here's Santos after the touchdown. He's out to kick this one off. This one taken at the 7. Now an opening past the 30. They finally get him down, but he gets all the way up close to the 40-yard line. The visitors' offense getting things in order as they trot out for this next possession. They trail here by a touchdown as this drive will start with a first down. Play action. It's Wilson. He's going to run out of time. They get to him and bring him down.
If there's any silver lining for this drive, Mike, it's the fact that at least this stack occurred on an early down. So I guess technically they have a chance to claw themselves out of this hole, but that's the 3rd sack of the game. This defense doesn't show any signs of slowing down.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. Out of the gun, here's Russ. on the other side of midfield.
Anytime you're facing a zone defense, you're working from your first progression all the way through. But when guys are open in this level, Mike, they don't stay open very long. So what they taught us as receivers, if you're open, stay open. And if you're not open, you better get open quick because that ball is coming out.
On first down, Wilson. That'll be caught by the running back, Warren. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5.
All right, so there's really 3 areas that a modern NFL running back has to excel at. Number 1, the traditional handoffs. Number 2, you have to be excellent and reliable in pass protection. And maybe bigger than all of them, you have to be at least serviceable out of the backfield in the passing game.
He's got Farmer open on the left side. And he'll be taken down. The gain is 6, and it's a new set of downs. He picked up the first down.
These curl routes, he's been running these routes since he was a young kid in Pop Warner football, and I like to call it pulling the string. You've got the defender thinking you're going downfield, and you stick that foot in the ground, work back to the quarterback, friendly to the ball, and really nice job picking up the first down.
And a good job following his blockers, a gain of 7. It'll be 2nd down. Now Russ. This one complete to Washington. And he'll be out of bounds at the 5. First time they've looked his way all game long. But he comes through with the grab and the first down.
I love the way the ball's been moving around to different guys this drive, Mike. I mean, it really keeps the defense guessing and off balance. And now, this defense is going to have to figure out how to keep this offense out of the end zone because it's first and goal.
5 yards from the house. They've got it 1st and goal. They'll run with Harris. And he will take this one across into the end zone. Najee Harris. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. 2 touchdowns for him now on the afternoon. Taking care of business on the ground to get the score. And Greg, the big guys up front, they deserve some praise on that one.
Absolutely, Mike. And it really only takes one guy to distort the defense and win his block. But in this case, give credit to the entire unit. They did their job, and they reward their offense with a touchdown.
On for the extra point is Boswell. The kick is good. And the Steelers will even the score here in the 3rd. So back to level after the touchdown. In time for the kickoff. On the return, it's Tyler Scott. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The home team's offense. And their running back set to go once more. And as you take a look at the numbers, you have to imagine he was the top of the conversation in that locker room at halftime. They got to find a way to slow him down. Nothing they've done has worked so far. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10. Williams on the RPO, going to get it out to Ogunze. Here's the 2nd and 6. Operating from the shotgun, it's Williams. He's going to tuck it and go. And they'll be set up now. Past the 40 with that one.
And this has been a familiar sight all day today for this defense. They have no answer for this quarterback as a runner. That last scramble puts him over 100 yards for the day.
Here's Smith. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more.
We've seen this back have his way with this defense all game long. Mike, he's up over 100 yards for the game, but this time the defense said, we've had enough. They sold out to stop them. They hold them to no gain.
Here's a handoff to Swift. And he is going to be stuffed well behind the line of scrimmage. That play going absolutely nowhere.
With how fast they were all over that play, you almost wonder, Mike, was there a pre-snap tell? Did they know that play was coming? Because I'll tell you, that defense was on it from the start.
3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Williams. Taking off, he's trying to get there.
And that's a great job defensively here on 3rd down. Not only taking away all the options down the field through the air, but when the quarterback decides to turn into a runner himself, they're able to converge and make the play and keep him short of the 1st down.
The Bears sending out their punt team. They punt for the 2nd time, looking to pin the opponent back deep. The visitors' offense and their quarterback headed out for their next possession. And he's had it going in the 1st half. Really had his way with the secondary. They've been powerless to stop him. Now, they're trying to keep it going. They'll start this on the ground, and it's Harris. A short game there, to about 22. They'll come up on a 2nd down and 8. From the gun, it's Wilson. And it's complete to the sideline. Nice job getting both feet down in bounds.
The best guys I've been around, Mike, they have a sense where they can see the ball, but they can feel the sideline. And that's kind of an innate sense that these guys have that allows them to concentrate and secure the catch and ensuring that both feet remain in bounds.
They'll try to run for it with Harris. Trying to find some seam out there, but he will not. They get him behind the line. And 4th down is coming up.
This is what every defense in the league is shooting for, Mike. Negative plays. That's how you kill drives. Force teams to play from behind the sticks. Great job here, taking them down for a loss.
Steelers getting ready to put this one away. Caleb Williams and the rest of this Bears offense. And this defense has got to be at its wits' end, trying to come up with a way to keep him contained. He's had so many opportunities to tuck it and go, and he's turned a number of those into big plays. First and 10. Working out of the gun, here's Williams. He's got his big target ever. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on first down. They'll work now on 2nd and 4. Off play action. Here's Williams. Very quick throw there, but not on the same page with his target. That's incomplete.
There's a fine line between trusting your arm and having a little bit too much faith in your arm, right? I think this was one of those situations here, Mike, where there was nowhere to go with the ball. He tries to fit that one in there anyway, and he's lucky that it just falls incomplete.
3rd and short yardage, and here's Williams. And that is incomplete.
So the hope is your 1/3 down conversion from really jump-starting a possession that ultimately leads in points. But after that 3rd down incompletion, kind of throws a wrench into those plans.
The Bears send out their punt team. Here's Austin to return. And he'll go forward a few yards on the return. And that's where the offense will take over. The Steelers offense ready for this next possession. They'll start it here with a 1st and 10. Wilson. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be 2nd down.
Pretty clear approach here, Mike. You're just trying to take advantage of the size of your tight end versus a smaller defender, and you're just saying box him out and go up for an offensive rebound and get the ball at its highest point. In this case, it falls incomplete, but if they continue to get that matchup, this quarterback's not going to shy away from giving his big tight end a shot.
He's over 100 receiving yards on the afternoon now, and a 1st down to boot.
Just seems like every year, Mike, the tight end position just continues to grow within the passing game and establishes a bigger and bigger role. And listen, I know I'm biased, but if you want to have a good passing game, you better have a good tight end.
The breakdown coming up now for 1st and 10. They go play action with Wilson. That's over the middle and intercepted. It's the linebacker, Tremaine Edmonds.
Mike, these are just throws you're not accustomed to seeing, especially from a quarterback that has played this much football. He's been around the NFL for a long time. He's got to make better decisions. Costly mistakes like that are going to kill his team.
The Bears offense ready to see what they can do with this next possession. We'll have a short field ahead as they look to break our tie. It is 1st and 10. Here's Williams now to throw. And they're going to track him down. He couldn't find a receiver, and down he goes.
You can tell the quarterback has built a lot of confidence in his ability to make plays today with his feet. The defense has had a hard time keeping him in check, and this time, much better job in pursuit. Even though he was able to get outside the pocket, they were able to chase him down and bring him down for a sack.
So after the loss on first, here's 2nd and 14. Out of the shotgun, it's a give to Swift. And he'll be very close to a first down. Won't quite have enough, but now a much more advantageous spot.
Very positive returns on that run. I mean, really, the only thing not to like is that they weren't able to move the chains. But you know what? The way he ran there, I think they go right back to him and see if he has even a bigger carry in him.
On 3rd down, here's Swift. And he's going to be brought down here on what will turn out to be the final play of the 3rd quarter. So, no shortage of offense in this one as we end the 3rd. Back with more after the break. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Throwing on 1st down, it's Williams. To the left side, he's got Komet.
This may look like a simple connection, Mike, just pitch and catch, but I can promise you the amount of time these two guys have spent together on the practice field, in the meeting rooms, just getting on the same page, seeing the game through the same set of eyes, it makes what's pretty difficult seem a lot easier.
They'll go play action here with Williams. Now he'll run. And Williams hit the deck there, but after he picked up the 1st down. 13 yards on that one. Move the sticks. It's a 1st down.
They do a better job of keeping the quarterback contained in the pocket all week, Mike, against mobile quarterbacks. You talk about rushing as a group. This time they get a little undisciplined with their rush lane integrity, and he makes them pay.
And he is planted in the backfield. Defenders crashing through. Blow up that play behind the line.
Number one rule of run blocking for the offensive line is you don't want to allow penetration. It just doesn't give your running back any angles to cut and find the hole. It's exactly how it played out here. They've got to do a better job holding the line of scrimmage and not getting pushed back.
And this defense up to the task there. Gain of just 2, and it's 3rd down. To throw is Williams. He's got his man Carter. And a good job here defensively. They did not let him get away. He's well short of the 1st down marker.
I think there's one of those plays that when the ball carrier watches this back in the film room tomorrow, he's going to be a little frustrated with himself. If he could just have made that one guy miss, he picks up the 1st down. Instead, he gets brought down short of the sticks, and now they got a 4th down decision to make.
And this one, right down the middle. It's good. And they take the lead here in the 4th quarter.
And this has been such a tight game, but that's a big one right there. I mean, you need a kicker with confidence. Well, this guy, he fits the bill. He steps up and knocks it through to give his guys the lead here in the 4th quarter.
So they lead by 3 here in this fourth quarter. Now have to turn it over to the defense as they kick it off. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. Here comes the Pittsburgh offense now, heading back onto the field. This one has been tight so far. A field goal separating the two sides as this drive kicks off with 1st and 10. This drive begins with a run by Harris. And some space opens as he's brought down following a gain of 6. Now Wilson on the designed run. He'll be a little short of that 1st down. Tackled at about the 37-yard line.
They went to the design quarterback run, and there just wasn't a lot of space for the quarterback to operate. You could see him kind of waiting for some of the blocks to develop. Never transpired. Didn't get a whole lot going. Short game.
That's Washington, the man in motion. 3rd down. Here's Harris. And that'll move the sticks. 1st down. Up to the 40.
Really just the same approach that an offense would take on a quarterback sneak, Mike. You don't necessarily have to spring them for a huge gain. Can you buy just enough space up front to pick up 1 yard? That's exactly what they did. Pick up 1st down.
On 1st down, right back to Harris. Not much. 2nd and long coming up. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. He keeps it himself.
Initially, Mike, a really good job by the defense. Nowhere to go with the ball for this quarterback. He's forced to pull it down and turn into a runner. Little slow reaction, and he's able to actually pick up a pretty good game.
Big play coming up. This is 3rd down. They send Freiermuth, the tight end, in motion. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. He's got his tight end. That's Freiermuth. It'll be a pickup of 10. Good for a Steeler 1st down.
And this is a tricky part of the game for any defense. You find yourself protecting a late lead, and the age-old question is, do you remain aggressive? Do you try to just keep the ball from being thrown over your head and make everything be tackled and played in front of you? That's what every defensive coordinator struggles with, so they can't get too soft here as they try to hold on to this lead here late.
Now he'll run it, and he'll gain yardage and able to get down at the end of the play.
The best quarterbacks don't see the rush, they feel the rush, and that's exactly what this guy was able to do here. He's able to escape the initial pressure and immediately realizes, I got some space out in front of me. Picks up a solid gain here on 1st down.
Now toss left side for Harris. He'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
The offense is trying to test the edges of the perimeter of this defense, Mike, but the defense is just too quick to the ball. Total team defense, pursuit, 11 hats to the ball carrier. It's exactly what we saw here. Keep that game to nothing.
Back to throw. Wilson. Here's a screen set up for Warren. And the defense can't come up with a stop there gain of 7 and a first down.
Critical third down conversion there, Mike. Now brings up a fresh set of downs. You find yourself here trailing in the fourth quarter. They got to go down and score, and they got to score fast.
On first down, it's Harris. They're struggling to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe gets a yard out of that one. It's second down. They send Fryermuth, the tight end, in motion. From the shotgun, Wilson. Pass taken in by Harris. He'll get about 6 before he's taken down.
There's a lot of ways to get the ball in the hands of your running backs, and it's not always by just handing it to them. In this case, it's a simple check down, picks up a good gain, brings up third down.
Third down, 3 to go. On the handoff, here's Harris running right. And he's going to take this all the way home. Najee Harris, touchdown Steelers. That is his 3rd touchdown of the afternoon. What a game this has been. Back and forth we go, and that fourth quarter score changes the lead one more time.
And we've seen the lead go back and forth, Mike, and now the question is, can they get a stop? Can they find a way defensively to hang on to this lead and get themselves this big win?
Boswell now for the extra point. He gets it to go, and the Steelers have taken a 4-point advantage. So now playing with the lead after that fourth quarter touchdown. Time to kick it back the other way. The return starts from the 5. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The Bears offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. They trail by 4. Touchdown gives them the lead. Drive begins with 1st and 10. This drive will begin with a run by Swift. And he'll work forward for about 3. It's 2nd down. Here's Williams. In trouble. Down he goes.
Early in this drive, they're trying to establish some offensive rhythm, but now after that 2nd down sack, really puts them in a must-pass. You don't want to be in 3rd and long very often in the NFL. It's not a very high percentage conversion rate, and with the danger of a 3 and out, they better hold up here in pass protection.
They need one right now. 3rd and long. On 3rd down, it's Williams from the gun. And they will continue to go backwards. He's taken down for a sack.
We're starting to see in these passing situations, Mike, this defensive line is starting to have their way against this group up front, because right now, their pass protection is breaking down, and his quarterback's paying the price for it.
And now here comes the punt team. We forced to punt, trailing here in the fourth quarter. And not much doing there. They made sure he would not get free. The Steelers' offense and running back Najee Harris getting set to take over once more. And as we go through the highlights, no shortage of touchdowns today. 3 trips to the end zone in this one. The combination, the power, the speed, everything on display, and the defense has seen it all. Set to go now on 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Jalen Warren. And a good run there. Going to get him 5 yards. They'll break the huddle. It's 2nd and 5. Here's Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing 3rd down.
A rare miss for a quarterback that we've seen really come out on fire throughout this entire contest. I mean, his completion percentage, Mike, is well above league average, and frankly, it's really the biggest reason why they find themselves out front.
And this is going to be incomplete. Great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a 4th down.
When you get the ball in this situation, what you're looking to do is not only end the drive with a touchdown to put the game away, but you'd love to chew up some clock. So with that incomplete pass now likely putting an end to this series, that's a big opportunity for them to try to close this game out.
So out comes the Chicago offense as they get set to take over once more. They'll begin with 1st and 10. Now Williams. He runs with it.
Quarterback does a nice job here sensing the pressure pretty quickly. He realizes he doesn't have a ton of time to operate from within the pocket. Decides to tuck the ball and rely on his legs. He's able to pick up a positive play.
Here's 2nd and 2. Here's a handoff, and Swift running right. And he is crushed in the backfield. Defenders firing through. Shut it down right away for a loss of yards.
The offense thinks that they can just kind of plow this one up there in the middle and keep the chains moving, but not on this defense. Not only do they not pick up the 1st down, but after suffering that loss, now they've got some decisions to make on 3rd down.
He's got his man. Allen with the connection.
play there as they try to cut into this fourth quarter deficit. At this point in the game, Mike, remember, you're just going to get a couple more possessions, so you have to make the most of them, especially with the lead being this close for the taking.
First and 10 now from the 36. Throwing is Williams. And they get to him and finally bring him down. It will go down as a sack.
To play in the NFL, you gotta have a short-term memory because regardless of whether the previous play was good or bad, they're gonna line up and snap it again. And in this case, really nice job bouncing back. They put the bad play behind them, forced the sack and the ensuing play, and they're right back on track.
Last play went the wrong way. It sets up second and long. It's second down and 12. They'll run. It's Swift. And he nearly got free. But as it is, gain of 6. It sets up third down. To throw, it's Williams. He'll try to run for it. He'll get a dozen out of that one, scrambling his way to a first down.
And here's a great example of why the pass rush on third down, that it's critical it gets home. In this case, they're not able to get to the quarterback. He has extra time to not only escape the pocket, but to turn into a runner and pick up the first down.
A play fake, and they'll throw with Williams. He'll take off again. And he slides and covers up at the end, avoids the hit, and picked up decent yardage along the way.
That play had sack written all over it. So that's a great job by the quarterback, not only escaping the initial pressure, even though he doesn't gain a whole lot, he's able to pick up some positive yards for what looked like a disaster in the start.
This offensive line just has no answers right now. It's another sack.
If they win this game, this pass rush is going to be a big reason why. The 5 sacks speak for itself, but their ability to disrupt the timing of this offense, that can't be overstated.
Gonna need a big play now. Third down and long. Operating from the shotgun, it's Williams. And that is incomplete.
This has really been the story of this entire game, Mike. I mean, this pass rush has had the advantage over the offense pretty much from the jump, and they've already recorded a couple of sacks, a handful of close calls, and it's the pressure in the backfield is why this team finds themselves with the lead here late in this ballgame.
Now or never, they'll throw on fourth down. Now a deep ball toward the end zone.
So much of that play comes down to the defender's positioning, being able to get himself to a spot to get his hands on the ball and a chance at that pick. Mike, when that ball was thrown, me and you are sitting here saying, that's a touchdown, and instead, they force a turnover, and now their offense is back on the field.
The Steelers offense about ready to take over once more. The lead sits at 4, so they'll try to add on to that. This drive begins with first and 10. a run. Here's Harris. And he's going to be taken down, and that will take us to the 2-minute warning. Here's a 2nd and 9. Another run here with Harris. And he's bottled up after a gain of a yard. And we'll see a timeout used by the defense, stopping it right out of the break. 1:57 to go in the game. This crowd into it now as we get to 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. He'll let this go for Pickens. And on 3rd down, that ball incomplete. He was looking for Joe Pickens there. And it's going to be 4th down.
I think he predetermined that 3rd down throw, and even though the coverage was tight, he still tried to fit the ball in there anyway, and it ended up falling incomplete. I think if he goes through his progressions and has a little bit more trust in his protection, I think there's an easier throw to make out there.
And that's a nice job of getting to him, making sure that return was not going anywhere. The veteran Keenan Allen and the rest of the Bears offense heading out to take over once again. They'll start out 1st down and 10. Williams. We're trying to set up the screen here to Swift. And that screen slow to develop, and they rally to the ball and stop up. That will be no gain on the screen.
It's a really good job defensively. The key is you don't want your defensive linemen to overcommit to rushing the passer, and you don't want your linebackers and secondary dropping too deep defending the pass. In this case, all 3 levels played disciplined, good football with good vision.
And the rush gets there. Down he goes. That's a 2nd charge timeout to Chicago. We'll talk things over before 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Williams. Taking off, he'll try to get there. And he'll get a good chunk of that yardage back, but he's still well short of the 1st down.
Sometimes it's just the case of taking what the defense gives you. And here's one of those examples. There's nowhere for him to go with the ball. For a minute, it looked like he was going to be able to pick up this 1st down with his legs. The defense rallies, brings him down short of the 1st down marker, sets up 4th down.
And he's going to go down. The pressure, once again, too much. And that should wrap this one up.
Finding yourself down to your final timeout, this is the moment. This is the drive that you have to find a way to extend if you're going to claw yourself back into this game. But the defense comes up with a huge stop, and that will all but end this game.
Steelers offense headed back to take over once more. They'll begin with the football in the red zone already as the defense has their back to the wall to start this drive. So they come to the line for 1st down and 10. Only one timeout remaining for the defense as they take a knee. The Bears go ahead, take their third and final timeout. Stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Lost one on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. Victory formation here as he's down to a knee. So this one, a win for the visiting Steelers. It was a game that delivered more points than most people would have expected with the snow falling at kickoff. Entertaining game for all involved as they'll head back to the locker room to warm up with a victory in their back pocket. So that'll do it for us. For Greg Olson and our terrific team behind the scenes, I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Follow us on X at EA Madden NFL. So long, everybody.